So I read you introduced a private members bill to tone down 66A, and like you said, you have introduced two that I know of. There may be more, but realistically, isn't private members bill just posturing? Because to the best of my knowledge, there hasn't been a private members bill that has been passed.
No, let me put things in context. No, I didn't just introduce two more. For many, many years, I'm on record as introducing the largest number of private members' bills in the Lok Sabha. Now, everywhere in the world, members of the legislature pass bills. We have an inherited structure. Our parliament the rules of parliament are from 30 years before independence, because we had a proto-parliament before independence. And there were many structures of parliament which I'm challenging and pushing, because they were not designed to empower the people. They were designed to leave the reins in the hands of the viceroy or whoever is the government of the day. And we used to have private members' bills pass until about 46 years ago. At an earlier stage in India, when there was a rather domineering government, somehow it was enforced on the majority party in parliament not to pass private members' bills. That only government bills ought to pass. This is bad for democracy. So it has become a convention that private members' bills don't pass since the early 70s. Apart from being bad, it's not a completely useless thing. It's not just about posturing or grandstanding, because it does two things. If I can get enough support among members, despite the party leadership opposing it, then what happens is the government then goes on the floor and says, please withdraw the bill, don't make us vote it down, and we will come up with a similar bill. So one example is the transgender rights bill. This was championed in the Rajya Sabha by a friend of mine, Mr. Siva, and in the Lok Sabha by me. Now, I have been fighting for LGBTQ rights from a long time, and I realized that trying to change 377, which the Supreme Court recently overruled, was a major project. So I decided to go about it in a certain way, and some friends of mine, like Shashi Tharoor, went about it in a different way. He tried to move a bill to repeal 377, which, for those of you who may not connect, 377 is the British era rule which discriminates against gay and lesbian people.
It's about unnatural sex, and even his own party members didn't show up to express solidarity with him.
So Shashi took the noble but unworkable thing of trying to repeal 377. I took a strategic approach. I said, let me pick a narrow aspect of this area of discrimination, and I go for transgenders' rights, because I found a lot of people having sympathy for transgender rights rather than the whole spectrum of LGBTQ rights. And you will see from the record of the Lok Sabha that we rocked. We got the media responding, we got transgender LGBTQ rights activists come and push it, and it came near to a vote several times. The government repeatedly kept deferring it. They didn't want to vote it down because they would look bad, and they didn't want to pass this bill. To be honest, this bill also had its flaws. So they came up with an assurance on the floor that please don't make us vote on this, we will come up with a transgender rights bill. And they did. Yes. But in the meantime, of course, the Supreme Court has overthrown 377. So I think private members' bills do serve a purpose.